Hi guys, Mike McKittrick here from Second Hour Pro Shop in Adrian, Michigan, down at Lenawee Recreation, and kind of a little educational video today. I had a gentleman come in. He bowled the King of the Hill tournament this morning. He's a friend of mine, and he ended up taking a class, just a bowling instructional class. I'm not gonna name drop. I'm not here for this. I just want people to be aware of, or try to be aware and do your research of when you take your equipment to people and you're trusting them with your hard-earned money to do the right things for you in the sport that you love, or a sport you're trying to get into. Maybe you're a new bowler. Maybe you're an advanced bowler. Maybe you're just a recreational bowler. Maybe you're looking to get into tournaments and do more with the sport. And my friend, he does, I think he does 2 or 3 leagues in the winter, bowls some sport shot tournaments at the Brian Regan tournaments. And he's been trying to do better the last few years and whatnot. So he told me he goes to this class, and the class included free ball drilling. Free ball, at least I think it's a free ball. And, I've drilled most of his stuff recently, and totally fine if, people take their stuff elsewhere. Not every ball driller matches up with every bowler. It's just not physically possible. Everybody's got someone that they prefer better, or for whatever reason they like that they do this, or whatever. So I know my friends Pap and whatnot, and I got it all written down. I made a blank one with no name on it so that it's I have it labeled as normal, and so that I know which one I'm referencing and whatnot. So he goes through this class, and they drill up the storm trend, and they were fitting them, and the guy that drilled the equipment is supposed to be the fitting expert there. I would assume he's certified. I guess he is a PBA bowler. I will say this, not name wise, but it is a bowler X shop. So which makes me a little disappointed, because I know the person who runs the shop, and they are very good at what they do. Very good bowler. I know that the owner of the shop did not drill these bowling balls. That's why I don't really want to name drop. But being a corporate ran basically behind the scenes, to me that's where you kind of get into the problems, where maybe they're trying to push out more than what they're trying to push, more quantity out than quality, possibly. So they refit him, and they were looking at shrinking his span a little bit. And when I took the span off of the ball, that from the one that I did, it was 4 5/8. Okay, he was comfortable with it, but he wanted to possibly try something different. I'm all for trying something different in this sport. This sport is forever evolving. I apologize if I run off topic a lot. I do that. So they ended up drilling up a storm trend, and they shrunk the span down to 4 1/16. Basically almost 5/8 of an inch they shrunk the span down to. They didn't get the finger grips right. They gave him ovals instead of power lifts. He wanted the lips. And the thumb hole was at a reverse pitch of 1/4 inch. And he gave me this ball, and he goes, "This ball is falling off my hand, and I don't know why." He goes, I can't hang on to it. Can't hang on to it. Well, the span is 4 1/16 of an inch. So that dictates it should actually have basically forward pitch. And they gave him reverse pitch 1/4. They basically gave him almost a little over 1/4 inch too much reverse pitch. So they talked him into doing 2 balls. And so they did. So they drilled up a Storm IQ Tour edition. Layout is a very interesting layout, need to say. It's basically 0 by 4 by 0. So right down the grip line over, they put the pin and the CG right on the valve line. I really don't have a problem with that. That's actually a really good drilling, especially for a lot of sport shot competitors. You will find a lot of read off the oil pattern that way. And watching him bowl the King of the Hill this morning with this ball, he was getting a lot of good ball motion off the pattern. So the layout wise, I don't have an issue with it. What I do have an issue with is that this IQ Tour was supposed to match the Storm trend. Well, I measured this ball, and literally they are drilled within the same hour of each other by the same person. The span on the IQ Tour is 4 1/4, where the Storm trend is 4 1/16. Also, a 1/4 inch reverse pitch with a different span, which makes absolutely no sense. And the thumb hole was ovaled in the direction for a left-handed bowler. Now, what I mean by that is right-handed bowler, the edges of your thumbs are here and here. This ball is ovaled, and you can tell slightly from here to here. It's ovaled for a lefty thumb. Why, I have no idea. Now, immediately, my friend said and told the ball driller, he goes, something doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right at all. I just, something, he didn't know. My friend is not a ball driller. So I took one look at it. When he set him down, I said, well, I can see why. My first guess was pitch, of why he couldn't get out of the ball. I thought maybe they moved the table the wrong direction and gave him a 1/4 inch forward instead of a 1/4 inch reverse. No, they just ovaled it completely wrong. Ovaled it for a left-handed bowler. And another reason why he can't get out of the ball, you can see here, notch is at 10 o'clock. Not how it's supposed to be, but at least it's not covered up by your thumb or your hand unless you're really all over the place with your positioning of your hand. So if you are, you could be covering up that vent hole that is on slugs. I thought I had one over here because I was going to show you. I'm going to grab one. On these slugs, you have this little indentation here. That is that air hole that should be at 6 o'clock because nothing on your hand is covering it. And lastly, the last thing I can find wrong is if you can see at the bottom, it is the same color as the slug. They did not drill through the thumb slug to make the vacuum hole work. So he sticks in the ball all the time. All the time. So the moral of the story here is do your research. Now, unfortunately, in this situation, this person, this ball driller, should have been a good, well-recommended ball driller, especially coming from the shop that it comes from. That's why I'm extremely disappointed that there's two balls here that aren't even close, and they're drilled probably one right after the other, since it's the same person that bought them. Basically, almost a 1/4 inch difference in span. Thumb hole ovaled the wrong direction. Also, the wrong finger lifts. Should have been power lifts instead of ovals. So, definitely talk to your friends. Talk to your friends. Find out good information who has drilled good bowling balls for them. I'm not saying come here to me. I'm just saying don't put your hard-earned money out there and get screwed over. Because bowling balls are not cheap. They're not. This is a very, very expensive sport. Probably one of the more expensive sports out there, just to even do it recreationally. And you figure a couple $100 for a ball, $150 for a ball. Every week you're putting out $15 to $25 for leagues just for, just to pay to bowl. It's an expensive sport. So just do your research. Don't get hosed over. And yeah, I just, that's about all I have on this one. I was totally baffled. My friend even looked at me and he goes, "Man, I really did a doozy on you." I go, "Yes, yeah," because I can't even fathom how one could mess up this badly on the same person. So do your research. Talk to your friends. Don't blow your hard-earned money on unreputable people. Wow, I can't get that word out. Buh. So, yes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that, wasn't really anything educational on technical of the sport. Just don't get hosed over. I hate seeing it because I don't know how many times I have balls come in here within an hour of me, from an hour, ball drillers from within an hour of me, and they're like, I had a guy come in here, had a ball drilled about a half hour away. He's right-handed, he drilled it left-handed. Pin set up for a left-hander, mass bias is on for a left-hander. The thumb hole was, he couldn't figure out why it wasn't hooking. The entire weight was on the wrong side of the ball. So make sure you go to a pro shop guy that is looking out for you, not looking out for them to push what's new, what's high profit for them. Remember, think about all of the bowling balls out there, all the good ones that are still around. What are they? They're not the high-end bowling balls. They're not the Storm Virtual Gravities from 2009 or 2008. What's still out there? The Storm High Road, the Storm IQ, the Venom Shock has been around for a long time. The Hustle has been around for a long time. Not the original one, but that line has been around for quite a few years now. Gosh, what else is out there now? I'm drawing a blank on stuff, but look, the Twists, the Rhinos, I know those are lower end, but all those ones that I've been listing off have been around for what, 5+ years? And they're not high end. They're not. I would love to sell the $240, $220 ball all the time, but that's not what works for my customers, and it's not what they need. So instead of falling into that trap of I need the newest and highest end ball to bowl better or to score, and you don't. You do not. Pro shops are going to profit on the $150 ball as well. So with that being said, just be careful, guys. Drop any questions you have about bowling or pro shop stuff in the comments. Hit the like button, share the video, get this out there, let your friends know. And if you guys have questions, drop them down there. I will answer as many as I can, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one.